Greetings and a warm welcome to Smartest Finds. Today, we have an exciting countdown in store for you as we unveil the top 10 scariest horror movies of 2022. This year has been a treat for horror movie fans, with over 40 new releases in the genre. However, not all of them are worth your time. We have handpicked 10 exceptional horror movies that boast of fresh storylines, thrilling jump scares, and overall entertainment value. So, make sure to watch the entire video to ensure you don't miss out on any of the movies on our refined list. Let's kick off the countdown with number 10, which is Terrifier 2. This 2022 horror slasher film is directed by Damien Leone and serves as a sequel to the 2016 movie, Terrifier. The story picks up a year after the events of the first film, with the sinister Art the Clown being revived by an unknown force. The main plot revolves around siblings Sienna and Jonathan, who discuss their Thanksgiving preparations with their mother. While Sienna and her mother are apprehensive about Jonathan's plan to dress up as Art the Clown, things take a violent turn when the killer clown starts pursuing both siblings. As the story unfolds, Jonathan discovers his father's journal, which contains gruesome images of Art and his past victims. The two siblings develop a mysterious connection with the clown, leading to some terrifying close calls. With a supernatural backstory that delves into Art's gruesome mysteries, the film offers a chilling horror experience that is not for the faint-hearted. If you're not a fan of gore and graphic violence, it's best to skip this one. Terrifier 2 has a 6.3 rating on IMDb and an 80% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 9 on our list is Hatching, a 2022 psychological body horror film directed by Hannah Burkholm. The story revolves around Tinja, a teenage athlete striving to impress her perfectionist mother. One day, Tinja finds a strange egg in the woods and decides to raise it in secret. As the egg undergoes a mysterious transformation, things take a terrifying turn, and the newly born entity targets Tinja's emotions, unleashing a series of twisted consequences. Hatching is a blend of bloody horror and a critique of family traditions, with a 6.2 IMDb rating and a 62% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. At number 8, we have Salem, a horror thriller film directed by Jean-Luc Agulto. The story revolves around three notorious soldiers, Shaka, Rafa, and Minuet, also known as the Benji Hyenas, who are on the run with bags full of gold loot. They seek shelter in the town of Salem, where they try to blend in with the locals to avoid detection. However, their plans are disrupted when a townsperson discovers their secret and wants to join their gang to share in their loot. Meanwhile, a strange supernatural event is causing residents to go missing and undergo twisted physical changes, with Shaka harboring the most sinister mystery of all. Salem is a folklore horror tale that explores unique cultural paranormal elements, with crime drama serving as a compelling subplot. It's a must-see for any horror fan. The film has a 6.3 rating on IMDb and a 68% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. At number 7, we have Barbarian, a horror mystery movie from 2022, directed by Zach Krieger. The movie centers on Tess, a woman who arrives in Detroit for a job interview only to find out that her rental home has been double-booked, and she must share the house with a stranger. Despite feeling uneasy, she decides to stay overnight, but her discovery of a hidden underground room with blood on the walls leads to a terrifying pursuit by a malevolent entity that has been residing there for years. The film's plot twist will keep you on edge, and the suspense, mystery, and horror it creates are well worth watching. Barbarian has a 7.1 rating on IMDb and a 71% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Orphan, First Kill is a 2022 horror slasher film directed by William Brent Bell. It is a prequel to the 2009 film Orphan. The story centers on Lena Klammer, who appears to be a cute 9-year-old girl, but is actually a 31-year-old psychopath with a rare biological condition that allows her to resemble a child. She escapes from a psychiatric hospital and travels to America, disguised as a long-missing child named Esther, and easily infiltrates Esther's wealthy family. However, as Lena's unusual actions raise suspicion and people begin to question her true identity, she is pitted against Esther's mother, who will stop at nothing to protect her family. While the first film is scarier and more focused on terror, the sequel falls short. Despite its faults, the revelation in the middle of the film is the strongest element. The movie has a 5.9 rating on IMDb and a 77 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Pearl is a horror slasher film released in 2022, which serves as a prequel to the popular X film. The story revolves around a young girl named Pearl, who is held captive on her family's rural farm and forced to care for her sick father while being harshly controlled by her strict mother. Pearl's desire to pursue her dreams of becoming a dancer creates a conflict between her emotions and the pressure she is under, ultimately driving her to carry out horrifying acts. While the film is still a slasher, it offers a little less violence and horror than X, as it focuses more on Pearl's unsettling psychological journey. Despite this, it is still worth watching, and has a rating of 7 on IMDb and an audience score of 82 on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 4 on the list is You Won't Be Alone, a horror thriller movie directed by Goran Stolevsky and set in the 19th century. The plot revolves around a teenage girl named Navina who is abducted by a demon named Maria and transformed into a witch. After mistakenly killing an innocent woman named Boslika, Navina takes her form and tries to live a normal life. However, her situation worsens when she murders Boslika's abusive husband and flees while changing between human and animal bodies. Years later, Navina is living with her husband and child, but her peaceful life is shattered when Maria arrives to take her baby away. The story is slow-paced and may not be for every horror movie fan. It alternates between resembling a dark fairy tale and a raw horror drama that gives you chills. Despite this, it is a unique and intriguing film that is worth adding to your watch list. You Won't Be Alone has a rating of 6.3 on IMDb and a 68% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Number 3 on the list is The Black Phone, a supernatural horror film directed by Scott Derrickson that was released in 2022. The story takes place in 1978 in a small town where several young children have been abducted. The film's main character, 13-year-old Finn Shaw, is also abducted by a deranged killer and imprisoned in a dark, soundproof dungeon. Despite the apparent hopelessness of his situation, Finn begins to plan his escape. However, he soon discovers that an unplugged telephone in his cell is ringing, and the voices of the killer's dead victims are on the line, trying to guide him to avoid their same fate. This film is primarily tense and scary, but it also incorporates supernatural horror elements, giving it a fresh take on the horror genre. It is an excellent horror movie that has received a 6.9 rating on IMDb and an 88% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Nope is a sci-fi horror movie with a neo-Western twist. The story centers around siblings OJ and Emerald Haywood, who inherit their family estate after their father's mysterious death. Strange objects falling from the sky and cryptic occurrences with their horses are just the beginning of their supernatural experiences. When they witness an alien spaceship collecting humans and killing them in gruesome ways, they risk their lives to capture the event on camera. The film is particularly effective at building intensity and mystery, leaving the audience's imagination to run wild. Although the opening scene isn't the strongest, Nope is a uniquely original addition to the horror genre. The movie has a 6.9 rating on IMDb and a 69 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. The movie Smile centers around the smile curse, which states that when a person with the curse kills themselves while smiling in front of another person, that witness becomes the next target. Dr. Rose Cotter, a psychiatrist, experiences supernatural hauntings after her patient commits suicide while smiling. She is joined by police officer Joel in her quest to break the curse and learn more about the monster. The movie features a unique and terrifying mythology that is worth watching, with a rating of 6.6 on IMDb and a 77 audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. Don't miss out on this one, and subscribe to our channel for more movie and series suggestions.